Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 21, entitled Instructions by Maharaj Prithu, Text 15.
Четем Шримад Бхагаватам, 4 песен, глава 21, наставленията на Махараджа Приту, текст 15.
Pramshuh Pinayata Bhujo Gaurah Kanjarunikshanah Sunasakh Sumukah Saumyah Pinamsakh Sudvijasmitah. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. King Prithu's body was tall and sturdy, and his complexion was fair. His arms were full and broad, and his eyes as bright as the rising sun. His nose was straight, his face very beautiful, and his personality grave. His teeth were set beautifully in his smiling face.
Цар Приту беше висок и силен и имаше светла кожа. Ръцете му бяха здрави и мускулисти, а очите му сияха като изгряващо слънце. Той имаше красиво лице с правилен нос и на вид бездържан и благороден. Когато се усмихнеше, се откриваха красивите му зъби.
Purport. Amongst the four social orders, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, the Kshatriyas, both men and women, are generally very beautiful. As will be apparent from the following verses, it is to be concluded that not only were Maharaj Prithu's bodily features attractive, as described here, but he had specific all-auspicious signs in his bodily construction. As it is said, the face is the index of the mind. One's mental constitution is exhibited by his facial features. The bodily features of a particular person are exhibited in accordance with his past deeds, for according to one's past deeds, his next bodily features, whether in human society, animal society, or demigod society, are determined. This is proof of the transmigration of the soul through different types of bodies.
Коментар. Сред четирите обществени класи, брамани, кшатри, вайши и шудри, кшатриите, както мъжете, така и жените, се отличават с особена красота. Както ще стане ясно от следващите строфи, Махараджа Приту не само, че притежава обаятелна външност, но телосложението му и особените знаци по тялото му показвали, че е велика личност. Казва се, лицето е огледало на душата. Чертите на лицето отразяват характера на човека. Външността на всеки зависи от миналите му дейности, защото именно миналите постъпки на живото същество определят формата и особеностите на следващото му тяло. Било то тяло на човек, на животно или на полубог. Това е доказателство за прераждането на душата в различни по вид тела.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, today's verse is quite interesting
Този стих е много интересен.
Because it explains how our consciousness is reflected also on our face. But not just in face, but also in whole bodily structure.
Но в цялата структура на тялото.
So, we can see that we have free will to become anything,
Имаме свободна воля да станем всичко.
or anyone.
Или всеки.
Yes, because by our actions, with our state of mentality, we will assume such external features.
Чрез нашите дейности, чрез нашия менталитет, ние ще придобием определени външни черти.
Yes. So, therefore, our acharyas put so much stress on our internal and external cleanliness.
дават толкова много наблягат на нашата вътрешна и външна чистота.
And this cleanliness, of course, is not just to clean our body
Чистота не е просто да
and
чистим
not
тялото
to
си,
engage in sinful
да се
activities,
ангажираме в греховни дейности.
but true cleanliness actually is Krishna
Но
consciousness.
истинската чистота всъщност е Кришна съзнание.
Oma pavitra pavitrova sarvava sangatopiva yaksmarit pundarikaksham saprahya pyantarah shuchihi. So one can become externally and externally clean if he always remembers Krishna, the lotus-like Lord.
Ако винаги помни лотосокия Бог Кришна.
So is it extremely important to not to get contaminated?
Това е много важно да не се замърсяваме.
We can see in modern even devotee society we tend to take this very easily and not very seriously.
Много лековато приемаме всичко това и не сме много сериозни.
For example, we are warned by our acharyas not to associate with non-devotees, for example, because everyone is affected by anything in this world.
Всеки се повлиява от всичко в този свят.
Because everything emanates some energy.
Защото всичко излъчва някаква енергия.
And when we are in contact with certain energy, we are influenced by this energy. For example, in older times it was like this. I don't know if it is still like this, but if you put phone to some speaker, it gets distorted if the phone starts to ring or something. You certainly have this experience, or at least had. I don't know how it's like this now. So we can see that everything has some influence. And for example, even in the times of Goswamis, that means 500 years ago, they went to meditate deep in caves because they didn't want to be disturbed by this village vibes from Vrindavan. So they went to deep under the ground to be protected from material influences from outside. And we can just imagine how peaceful was the atmosphere in their time, especially in Vrindavan, which was somewhere in the middle of nowhere, we can say. Yes. So even 50 years ago, Vrindavan was an extremely peaceful place. What to speak 500 years ago. But still, these great devotees, they went on, and the most elevated devotees, they were not just weak sadhakas that they had to protect themselves from bad influences. But they were supermost devotees you can imagine. They were personal associates of Lord Chaitanya himself. So they were most powerful personalities, spiritual personalities in the universe, not just in some country. So when acharyas warn us not to associate with material
да
consciousness.
общувате с материално съзнание.
This is, of course, for our benefit, not to put some suffering to us with their sadistic ideas. And for example, I can see that this materialistic foodstuff, for example, is extremely, it has extreme influence on the consciousness of the devotees. So we should be careful. And Prabhupada, for example, said, purity is the force. But if we pollute our consciousness with these sinful materialistic influences from outside, how can we maintain our pure consciousness? Even if we try and we practice devotional service regularly and steadily, will be still influenced. And even if we don't engage ourselves in sinful activities, still we have impure consciousness. And then we can never go beyond this material consciousness. Yes. These instructions are there for us to taste rasa. But if we don't take it seriously, we cannot take rasa. Yes. We will never taste rasa. And if we will not taste rasa, then we'll try to experience rasa somewhere else. Because we are Nandamayo Vyasat. We are beings of happiness. Of happiness. We want to experience happiness on every step. And if we don't, even if we are serious in devotional life, if we don't experience deep satisfaction and ecstasy actually in devotional life, we will not take it seriously that these material influences can do any harm to us, because we cannot perceive any difference between our consciousness before we took to some material consciousness and after. For example, we have this famous story of Rupa Goswami, who meditated in pure ecstasy, and he was absorbed in Krishna Lila actually, and he saw something very funny in this Krishna Lila, and he started to laugh. But it happened that one devotee who had some physical disability, he passed by at this time, and he thought that Rupa Goswami is laughing to him. And although Rupa Goswami didn't even notice this devotee, he lost his ecstasy, and he couldn't get into Lila anymore. So Of course, here's also Vaishnava Parat involved.
Разбира се, тук също е намесен Вайшнава Парат.
But it illustrates how important is our consciousness.
Колко важно е нашето съзнание.
Because if we allow this impure mentality to enter our heart,
Да влязат в нашето сърце.
we will keep our consciousness on material
Ние
platform.
ще държим съзнанието си на материалната платформа.
Of course, these offenses are also material consciousness.
Тези оскърбления, разбира се, също са материално съзнание.
But are even more grave than ordinary sins.
Те са дори по-сериозни от обикновените грехове.
Because every sin can be destroyed by even the semblance of the holy name.
Може да бъде унищожен дори от сянката на святото име.
Yes, with namabhas.
С намабас.
But nothing can purify us from apparats to the holy name.
От оскърбление към святото име.
We'll definitely have to suffer the
Ние
consequences.
сигурно ще трябва да страдаме последствията.
Yes, so it's very important. And if we don't follow the instructions of our spiritual master,
И ако не следваме инструкция на нашия духовен учител,
and of course Srila Prabhupada,
и разбира се на Шрила Прабхупада,
who warns us very much not to engage the influence of this material consciousness.
да не се повлияем от материалното съзнание.
This is also Guru apparat,
Това също е
Guru avagya, one of the apparats to the holy name.
Това е една от оскърбленията срещу святото име.
Yes. So we should be very careful.
Трябва да сме много внимателни.
Yes. Here we can see that bodily features are the mirror of our consciousness, of our heart, of our soul.
Тялото на нашите черти е отражение на нашата душа, на нашето съзнание.
But at the same time, we should be very careful not to notice any defect in pure devotees.
Да не забелязваме никакви дефекти в чистия предан дар.
Yes, because we can conclude on the basis of this verse,
На тази основа, на този стих може да заключим.
And also on the basis of the purport,
И също въз основа на коментара,
that if someone is ugly or has some physical defect,
или ако има някакъв физически дефект,
that this is the consequence of his sinful
това
life.
е резултат от неговия греховен живот.
Yes, and Rupa Goswami warns us about this in Upadeshamrita, in 6th verse of Upadeshamrita. He says, Drishtei svabhava janiter vapushash chadoshar naparkritatva mihabhakta janasya pashit gangam basam nakalubud buddhapena pankar brahmadravatvam apagachati dir brahmam apagachati what is the end? Gangam basam nakalubud buddhapena pankar Brahma Dravatmam apagachati dira I forgot. It's not so important, but the point is that one should not be to look at these physical defects of great saints.
Забелязва тези физически недостатъци на великите души.
And it is explained by Rupa Goswami that they are like river Ganges. In the rainy season, this river Ganges is like is full of mud and bubbles and foam. Foam. Pena. Budbuda pena panka. It is the same word in Slovenian as in Sanskrit. You also have pena?
Piana.
Piana. Hare Krishna. Similar. So, because they're always pure.
защото тя винаги е чиста.
And those who have spiritual vision, they take
зрение.
bath even in such
Те могат да си
so-called polluted
дори в
Ganges,
така наречената замърсена Ганга.
because it's purifying force emanating directly from the feet of Lord Vishnu.
Защото това е вода, която излиза от лотосите на Бог Вишну.
And there is one story of great Vidyadhara, this means great demigod,
За велик полубог,
who was laughing to some ugly sages.
който се е присмял на някакви мъдреци, които били много грозно изглеждат.
And he was very beautiful.
А той бил много красив.
That means that he was very pious if he was very beautiful.
Много благочестив, ако си много красив, това означава, че си много благочестив.
And this piety can degrade us.
Може да ни
It's interesting. Piety can degrade us.
това благочестие може да е причината за нашата деградация.
Because we will be in better position than other people because of our piety.
Заради нашето благочестие.
And if we become proud because of our better position, then our piety will be destroyed.
Тогава нашето благочестие ще бъде унищожено.
Yes. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that this sinful life and pious life is like a pendulum.
И благочестив живот е едно махало.
Because when we strive very hard to be pious
Много сериозно се опитваме да сме
and to get
благочестиви,
to heaven and enjoy
в рая,
and be very beautiful,
да бъдем много красиви.
then we get attached to our superior position, to attach to our enjoyment and so on.
Към нашето наслаждение и така нататък.
And when we come back
Когато се върнем
to
обратно
earthly life,
към земния живот,
and we'll definitely come back,
а ние със сигурност ще се върнем,
then we try to enjoy more than we are able according to normal life.
отколкото можем, съгласно обикновения живот на земята.
And then we engage in sinful activities to enjoy more.
И затова ние се ангажираме в греховни дейности, за да се наслаждаваме повече.
Yes. And then we go to hell again.
И тогава ни отиваме в ада.
And we become ugly
Ставаме грозни.
and so on and so forth. And this Vidyadhara was cursed by these sages.
Този Видядъра бил прокълнат от този
So he got reactions very quickly.
И той бързо получил тази реакция.
And he became a snake.
И той станал змия.
Yes. A great snake.
Много голяма змия.
Big snake.
Огромна.
Boa how is called constrictor? Boa constrictor. Yes. And
Конструктор буа.
so this Vidyadhara in his snake body,
Този Видядъра в неговото змийско тяло.
he was living a miserable life, of
Той живеел
course,
много нещастен живот.
and he was extremely hungry.
И той е бил постоянно много гладен.
So this is not imaginable for a demigod to be hungry.
За един полубог не може да си представи.
So he suffered.
Да е гладен.
He suffered terribly and slithered on his belly and he tried to devour Maharaj Nanda.
И той се опитва да глътне Махараджа Нанда.
And although these cowherd men were beating this snake with burning torches,
И въпреки че
burning logs,
тези пастири почнали да ударят тази змия с горящи пръчки,
so this definitely burned the snake
изгорило тази змия.
and also hurt the snake because of heavy blows with these burning logs. He was so desperate
Той бил толкова отчаян,
that he didn't let go.
Той не пуснал.
of Mahanda Maharaj.
Не пуснал Нанда Махарадж. Въпреки че те го любили.
And Maharaj Nanda was crying
Нанда викал за помощ.
for Krishna to help,
Кришна, помогни ми.
because it was explained to him by Gargamuni that Krishna will always save you from different positions, heavy positions. Yes, and dangerous positions. So Krishna came at the end on the scene and touched Vidyadhara with his foot. This snake, actually. And the snake immediately turned to this beautiful Vidyadhara. Yes, and of course Maharaj Nanda was saved. So this material consciousness forces us to engage in abominable activities. And not that we just engage in abominable activities. We even want to destroy the souls of Krishna. The source. Because Maharaj Nanda was Krishna's father. And so if we want to destroy Krishna's father, like this Vidyadhara wanted to destroy Krishna's father, that means that we want to destroy also Krishna, the source of Krishna. Yes. We maybe not attack Krishna personally. So we can say we are perfect devotees. But we will destroy most dear devotees. We'll try to destroy most dear devotees of Lord Krishna. And most dear, of course, as we know, is our spiritual master. So we'll try to devour his existence by our own whims. Yes. So we should understand that these engagements in material consciousness is not something to be taken easily. Yes. If we take it easily and we think that this cannot influence me, I'm strong enough. This simple thought is offensive. Yes, because we have so many instructions by Srila Prabhupada in his books. And so it's not possible to achieve what we are searching for life after life after life, from time immemorial. Yes. So I invite all of you to take these instructions very seriously. Because they are for our benefit. And then these devious situations come from such polluted intelligence. Maybe today I'm speaking about controversial things. Maybe a little bit. And I will continue. For example, these ideas for paid services to the Lord. This is coming just from polluted intelligence.
Заплатено служене на Бога идва от замърсена интелигентност.
Why is this coming about?
Защо това се появява това нещо?
Because there is no enthusiasm to serve the Lord.
Защото няма ентусиазъм да служим на Бога.
And there is no enthusiasm because because we have impure consciousness.
Защото имаме нечисто съзнание.
And we can't inspire anyone.
И заради това не може да ентусиазираме никой.
So we have to pay them. We then use other inspiration, and this is money.
Друго вдъхновение, което са парите.
And this inspiration, of course, works in material world very, very good.
Това вдъхновение парите работи.
Is proven source of inspiration.
Казан източник на вдъхновение.
Yes. So we can see it's like avalanche.
Това е като една лавина.
When we engage our consciousness in impure sources, it will like a domino effect on every aspect of our spiritual life, and not just our spiritual life, but the spiritual life of whole society. Yes, and this is extremely dangerous, because if we set this standard, it will be taken for granted that this is the system. But devotional service cannot be remunerated.
Но преданото служене не може да бъде заплатено.
Yes, because if we remunerate devotional service, it can become, it is service. Definitely it's service, but not devotional.
Защото ако плащаме за преданото служене, това сигурно е служене, но това не е предано служене.
Yes, it's service, but not devotional.
То е служене, работа, това е просто работа, това не е преданост.
So, yes, we should be careful, very careful. Maybe we think these services should be done, and they should be.
Може би си мислим, тези служения трябва да бъдат извършени и те сигурно трябва да бъдат извършени.
But of course they should be done with devotion.
Но разбира се, те трябва да бъдат извършени с преданост.
So if there is no possibility for anyone to do it with devotion, better not to do it.
И ако няма възможност никой да го направи с преданост, по-добре е да не се прави.
Because if we put wrong standard, then we will pollute our understanding of your devotional service.
Защото ако въведем погрешен стандарт, тогава ще замърсим.
And this is worse than not to perform service.
Което е по-лошо от това да не извършваме служение.
Yes. It's much worse, because then we create completely deviant philosophy.
Създаваме напълно фалшива философия.
Yes.
Дяволска.
And then the pure path, pure consciousness is jeopardized, is destroyed actually.
И тогава чистият път бива унищожен.
At least established society cannot offer this anymore.
Поне установете, че нашето общество повече не може да предлага това нещо.
Yes, there of course can be some individuals who can follow purely and be inspiration for many, but the whole atmosphere is polluted.
Разбира се, може би някакви индивидуалности могат да следват чисто, но всъщност цялата атмосфера е замърсена.
And there are questions, are better that devotees are serving outside karmis, then to get paid in the temple.
Има тогава въпрос, по-добре е ли преданик да служат, да работят просто някаква карми работа и отколкото да служат в храма и храма да им плаща?
Yes, much better.
Да, много по-добре.
Yes, because they will not have this false idea that I'm serving Krishna.
Да, много по-добре, защото те няма да имат тази фалшива идея, че аз служа на Кришна.
Then he will engage his money in devotional service, and he will understand whatever amount of money I devote to Krishna, this is my devotional service.
Да, I didn't get it.
If I work outside, then I understand whatever amount of money I engage in devotional service, this is devotional service.
Ако работя карми работа, тогава поне хората ще разбират, че колкото пари мога да дам за Кришна, това е всъщност моето служение. Толкова мога да служа. Това ми е.
Otherwise, everything can be paid. For example, kirtan can be paid.
Всичко може да се плаща. Например, за киртан може да се плаща.
And maybe somewhere is paid. I don't know. In Mayapur, kirtan is paid.
Yeah.
So yes,
Prabhupada
I didn't know. I'm not engaged in politics.
В Майпур, например, те плащат за киртан.
Yes. So you can see, kirtan is paid, worship of Krishna is paid.
Обожанието на Кришна. За него се плаща.
Just a matter of time when you pay someone that chant your rounds.
Въпрос на време е да почнем да плащаме на хората да струват нашите кръгове.
Yes. You'd pay someone to read books instead of you.
Плащаш някой да чете книгите вместо
Yeah. Yes, I'm following everything.
Да, аз следвам всичко.
I have no time, but I pay.
Аз нямам време, но плащам. Ето.
Yes. Maybe this is ridiculous idea, but is the same origin,
Но има същия
same kind of mentality.
същия тип съзнание, менталитет.
Yes. So, Hare Krishna.
Харе Кришна.
Any questions or comments? Yes, please.
So where does this tendency to upkeep the streak, to
Upkeep?
the show, is it just some like external display for the masses, or where does this come from?
Yes.
Why do we
Will translate the question?
I'll translate later.
Okay.
Summarize whole thing.
Because people have external consciousness. They think that externals are extremely important. And therefore, you're not translating?
I'm gonna summarize the whole thing.
Oh,
If you
yes.
allow me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Because people have this external consciousness, an external idea that this is extremely important. So they maintain the whole facade of something that they received from their predecessors, because they think that this is really important, and it is important what they have received to maintain properly. It is, but if they maintain it in this way, they will pollute the essence. And if they pollute the essence, everything is lost. Also, externals are worse than not to be the externals there, because the externals are meant to support the essence. But if these externals don't support the essence, but create deviant ideas about the essence, then these externals are better not to exist. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Въпросът е откъде се появява това нещо. това настроение. Отговорът е, защото хората са привързани към външните неща и към някакви празни такива ритуали, които те са получили от техните предшественици. Обаче ако тези външни неща не подкрепят същността, която е най-важната, тогава те по-добре да бъдат изоставени, по-добре да ги няма, вместо да компрометират същността на процеса и да съсипват, да развалят всичко.
Okay, you have to. But it's better for you to translate because you're so fast in translating that I can speak normally.
Да, it's 9 o'clock, so I'd like to shorten everything.
Yeah. There's this verse from Gita that I think it's sacrifice isn't a mode of ignorance if Brahmanas aren't given
Elimination. Yes.
And I heard Jadway Tamaraj speaking about like if you give a public talk, say in a university, it's important to get paid, he said. But obviously it means donation, but to get paid. So what is the right consciousness to receive remuneration? I guess that's my question.
Brahmanas were completely dependent on society. They didn't perform any service for some fixed payment or anything like this. And Prabhupada mentions in his purports that anyone, poor people, rich people, anyone could get these services from Brahmanas, even if they couldn't afford to pay anything. But this is the nature of Brahmanas, that they give this knowledge to everyone, even if they're too poor to pay them. But it was the customs and the custom and culture of society, and it's proper also to give some donation, something as a token of your gratitude to the Brahmanas. But Brahmanas were very independent, so and they didn't serve anyone, even the kings. They were not servants of the kings. If the Brahmana would become a servant of the king to have good sources of money, he's not properly situated in his Brahminical status. He should be completely aloof of this payment mentality. If he's polluted with this mentality, then he's not proper Brahmana according to Shastra. Yes. So in this regard, we should know that it is our duty to give something for Brahmanas to perform some yagas and services, maybe, but not. That means that that doesn't mean that if Brahmana will not get paid somehow or other, that he will stop performing services. You understand the difference? If you don't pay the hired devotee, he will stop performing his service. You understand the difference? Yes. So this is extremely important to understand, to keep this purity of consciousness.
It's not like a salary.
It's not a salary.
They'll do it and then take whatever comes.
Yes, yes. And if nothing comes, they are completely satisfied and don't take grudge or anything. Hare Krishna.
Въпросът беше, ние знаем от Бхагавата-дхарма, че ако не дадем на дарение на браманите, които извършват някакво служение, това е в гуната на невежеството. Също Джагата Магарач казва, че ако даваш лекции в университет някъде. Те трябва да ти дадат някакви пари. Така че това не е ли в противоречие с това, което се казва на лекцията. И отговор е, че има голяма разлика между това да дадеш дарение на някой брамана, който извършва някакво служене, и да му даваш заплата. Едното е това е твой дълг да помогнеш браминските дейности, браминската култура. Обаче, ако някой е на заплата, тогава той, ако не му даваш заплатата, няма да извършва своите задължения. Докато един брамана, дори нищо да не му даде, той ще продължава да се извършва задължения.
Hare Krishna. Anything else? Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Please accept my humble